righty. Hey, guys.
Hey, Ron. What did it mean to come down here and be able to get a win on Thanksgiving?
Well, it means a lot. It really does. These guys have worked hard and have played some quality football, especially the last few weeks. And so for them to come out and play one of our divisional rivals and on Thanksgiving especially, and play as well as they did, especially in the second half, that's huge. It really is. And so I'm very happy for our football team.
Hey, Ron, there's a lot to unpack from this game. There's a lot to unpack from this game, but the play Terry McLaurin made to save that touchdown interception, I mean, take me through that. And what I know it doesn't show up in the box score, but that's a play that really stands out.
It did. It's a huge play because all it did was give us a chance. And that's all you need really is a chance and get the opportunity to do it. And that's what they did. Terry gave our defense a chance. Our defense bowed its neck, forced the field goal. And, we were only down by 4 at that point. I mean, we're only up by 4 at that point. But then the offense went down and scored. So a lot of good things, a lot of pluses and positives as far as that's concerned.
Ron, you talk a lot about learning to win and this team trying to learn to win. Is this one of those games where that finally kind of came together for you, do you think?
It is. It's one of the things we talked about at halftime. And then after the game, we talked about exactly that when you get a chance, you got a team down, you've got to score, you've got to distance yourself from them. And that's what they did. They went out and did the things that we talked about. They played physical to the end.
Thanksgiving, the Washington football.
Hey, Ron, when you're able to run some of those trick gadget plays and all that, what does it say about the comfort level with the coaching staff has in that offense and what you guys are seeing?
Well, there's Scotty's got some innovation, and when you watch some of the things that we do, some of the things that we work on in practice, you can see the potential for big plays and using the guys and giving them opportunities to use their skills. That's huge. I mean, doing what he did with Logan, that was big. And again, those are things that we have players with specific skill sets which we need to take advantage of.
Can you walk us through that play where Alex handed the ball to JD between his legs and just where that came from? We saw you did it in Carolina, so just talk about the design of all that.
Exactly. It's a little bit of a trick play. Something that we used in Carolina. We actually scored in Carolina on it. They had one player that saw the action, and he almost got through and stopped it. Fortunately enough, JD made him miss, and he got around the right end. And the idea is to have JD kind of hide behind everybody, take the quick snap, hand it to him between his legs, and Alex and the backs would roll opposite of where everybody else was going to kind of pull them along. And it was successful. We picked up 6 yards, and again, it's a little innovation there.
Ron, where's the genesis for that play? Where did you guys? Where did that? Did the roots go back to the Fumblerooski, or where did they start?
It actually goes back to a movie called Little Giants. Okay, and it's called I hope I don't get in trouble, but it's called The Annexation of Puerto Rico. We nicknamed it the Bummerooski so that because most of these guys don't understand it, so we had to explain to them who Bum Phillips is, and we did it in tribute to to him as chairman of the Bummer.
Ron, there is a rumor out there that you've watched The Little Giants over 100 times in your life, so I guess you like the movie The Little Giants.
I did. When you have kids at that age, Courtney, my daughter, loved that movie, so we watched it a lot.
Hey, Ron, we ask you almost every week about the development of Antonio Gibson. What do you say about him, his development after that performance?
I think he's still growing. I mean, he had some really good runs and again, popped a couple for touchdowns, scored 3 today, actually. And the thing about him is he's got so much potential and ability. He's a lot of fun to watch, and pretty excited about, who he's developing into. I thought the 3 running backs all got opportunities today, and they all took advantage of it, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Ron, after the Cincinnati game, you had spoken about this being a mental reps week, and it certainly looked like on the fake punt and then also on the reverse in the red zone that you guys sniffed those plays out pretty well. Can you talk about defensively being able to see those plays develop and be in position to stop those key plays, those momentum plays?
Well, I know this, as far as the defense was concerned, I know Jack and the staff talked about the trick plays and that we had to be prepared for that, especially in certain points in the game. And I know, again, it's something that, you look at the team's history, you look at some of the things that they've done, you go back and you watch a lot of tape and you see those things that tell you, hey, you got to be aware. So kudos to those guys for preparing. As far as special teams is concerned, looking at what they did this year, they've run a couple of fakes already, and blocked some kicks. So they're a very active special team. So we were prepared for that. Actually, on that reverse they ran, Nate Cakes, our special teams coach, had us in one of our prevent defenses, so that we were really prepared, and then the guys were able to sniff it out.
Hey Ron, for the Little Giants play, do you just bring that to Scott, or does Scott bring that to you? And you hadn't run it since 2011, I don't think.
Yeah, it was. We ran it against Houston, against the Texans, and it was successful. Scotty was on that staff, so he revived it, and we worked on it in practice, and it worked in practice too.
You guys sniffed out their fake punt there at the end. What can you say about your special teams and their preparedness for that?
Well, that's exactly what we talked about was that, you look at what Nate does, and he does it every Friday and Saturday. He goes through the potential for fakes and what a team has done in the past, and, when we need to be aware of it. He's a very thorough coach. He did a really nice job for our guys.
Ron, with Antonio and Montez, it seems like the performance today came from your young core. I wonder if you've seen them as a group take that step forward that you've been looking for.
Oh, most certainly. And again, you look at the blocking up front for Antonio. You look at the wide receivers blocking downfield, the tight ends blocking, the pullers, all that stuff, and you can see it kind of come together, and that's big. And for Montez, being part of a rotation and understanding what we're trying to get out of him as a rotator, defensive end for us. I mean, if there's 60 plays, we're hoping he gets about 40 good quality plays, and we try to rest him for 20, and he seems to eat that up. And, and again, I think it's all part of the development of our group.
Hey, Ron, you used Jeremy Reeves back there at free safety a little bit more tonight. Why there? And he made a couple big stops in the second half.
He did, and so did Trapp. So did Apke. I think the thing that, we got a couple of young guys that need to get on the field, and we got to rotate these guys for opportunities. And it was good to see those guys get those chances and watch those guys play.
You've talked a lot about being close the last few weeks. Like, you feel like you were close. Does this feel like a corner turning a little bit? Is that too much to say at this point?
It is. I think we're getting closer. We got a hell of a test coming up next week. We really do. Getting ready for Pittsburgh. So that's a big test, and our guys, have to get ready for a heck of a football game against a very, very, very good football team. So, we'll see where we are. When you get a chance to test yourself against one of the elites right now.
Ron, what does it say about this team, just the preparedness on a short week especially? You've talked about the special teams prevent on the reverse and everything else like that, but what does it say on a short week that your team was so ready for that in particular, and especially Khalil Hudson, the rookie, being in a position to make that play?
Well, again, like I said, kudos to the coaches for what they've done, in terms of preparing our guys. We didn't bombard them this week with a whole bunch of stuff. There was a lot of carryover from last week's game plan as well. I think the coaches understood that. I think they did a good job in terms of mixing some of those things up with a few things, and again, not overloading them mentally. I thought the guys did a really good job. Where because of the new protocols, we're doing everything in terms of virtual meetings now, and so to have guys, locked in, keyed in, and doing the things that we need in terms of preparing, that's cool. That really is that's a big deal for me.
Ron,
and
are there
also,
any other
it seems
movies
like Scott Turner it just seems like Scott Turner, especially when Montez Sweat had the interception for a touchdown, the team just looks like it's having fun. And Scott Turner, with his calls, looks like he's having fun. How important is that with the young team that, came in 2-7, you have the 2 wins now? How important is just having fun at this stage of the game?
I think what it does for them is it just kind of makes them hungrier to win, because, that's when you're having fun, honestly. And I think they're starting to understand just how important it is to do, to be your best and do your best, because again, if you can win games, it is a lot of fun, believe me, and they deserve to have it. It's been a strange year, but they've worked very hard.
Another one of the big plays was Terry McLaurin running down the interception. What was that? What was your view on that? And did you get the sense that it was compared to the DK Metcalf play from a couple weeks ago? I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah, I do. And the thing about that is when you give a team a chance, and that's again all we needed a chance. I thought Jack and the defensive coaches did a nice job with the red zone again. You know, the last few weeks we've been very, very good in the red zone, and that was an exciting 3 downs to watch. And again, kudos to our guys for keeping them out of the end zone.
As far as what that speaks to Terry, I mean, not only did he give him a chance, if you probably had one player on your team that would do that, I would estimate it would be Terry. Just can you speak more to even what that does for your team, and just knowing that he's the guy, your captain, that all these guys are behind, that was able to make that play.
And that's exactly it. I think, Heather, the big thing about it is that when you have a guy that you can expect or anticipate that type of play, that type of effort, it says a lot about who he is as a football player and a young man. So again, it doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. When it happened, first thing I did was I said, hey, thanks for giving us a chance. And lo and behold, Jack and the defense, bowed their neck and forced the field goal.
By the way, that annexation of Puerto Rico was against the Cowboys in that movie. So just saying.
I know. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.